I used to dream about my wedding day. For years, I imagined walking down the aisle in a beautiful white dress, seeing the man I loved waiting for me with a smile. When I got engaged to Daniel, I thought that dream was finally coming true. Daniel was charming, successful, and everyone in my family adored him. We had been together for 3 years, and our wedding was only 4 months away. I believed I had found the person I would spend the rest of my life with. Looking back now, I realize love can sometimes make you ignore the things you don't want to see. The night everything changed started as an ordinary family dinner. My parents had invited Daniel over, along with a few relatives and my best friend, Sarah. The atmosphere was warm and cheerful. Laughter filled the room as everyone enjoyed the food my mother had spent all day preparing. Daniel arrived carrying a bottle of expensive wine. "Tonight, we're celebrating," he announced. Nobody knew those words would become the beginning of the end. As the evening went on, Daniel drank more than anyone else. At first, he was simply louder than usual. Then, he became careless. I remember feeling embarrassed when he interrupted people repeatedly, but I told myself he was just having fun. By dessert, he could barely sit straight. My father suggested he slow down, but Daniel laughed and poured himself another glass. Then he looked directly at me. The smile on his face disappeared. "You know," he said, his voice thick from alcohol, "I never understood why everyone thinks she's so amazing." The room fell silent. I forced a nervous laugh. "Daniel, you've had too much to drink." But he wasn't finished. "No, I'm serious," he continued. "She's so ordinary. She doesn't challenge me. Half the time she's just there." Every word felt like a stone hitting my chest. My mother looked horrified. "Daniel," she warned. But he ignored her. Then he turned toward Sarah. Honestly, if I had met Sarah first, things would have been different. I stared at him, unable to believe what I was hearing. Sarah's face went pale. "What are you talking about?" she asked. He shrugged. "She's smarter, more interesting, more ambitious." The room was frozen. I felt as if everyone could hear my heart breaking. Then came the words that hurt the most. "Sometimes I wonder if I'm settling," he said. "I mean, what does she even bring to the table?" For a moment, I couldn't breathe. This was the man I was planning to marry. The man who had promised to love me. The man who had asked me to spend forever with him. And in front of everyone I loved, he had revealed exactly how little he thought of me. I stood up quietly. No shouting, no tears, no dramatic scene. I simply removed my engagement ring and placed it on the table. Daniel looked confused. "What are you doing?" "I'm leaving." His eyes widened. "Don't be ridiculous." I looked at him one last time. "No," I said softly. "I think I've finally stopped being ridiculous." Then I walked out. That night, I cried harder than I ever had before. Not because I lost him, because I realized I had almost lost myself. The next morning, Daniel called. Then he texted. Then he showed up at my apartment. He blamed the alcohol. He said he didn't mean it. He said he was stressed. He said he loved me. But apologies couldn't erase the truth. Alcohol doesn't create thoughts that don't exist. It simply removes the filter hiding them. The wedding was canceled. The months that followed were difficult. There were moments when I questioned my decision, moments when I missed the future I had imagined. But slowly, I began rebuilding my life. I focused on my career, I traveled, I spent time with people who valued me. Most importantly, I learned to value myself. Years passed. One afternoon, I was leaving a bookstore when I heard someone call my name. I turned around. It was Daniel. He looked older, tired somehow. After a few minutes of awkward conversation, he finally said it. "I made the biggest mistake of my life." I didn't reply. "I've never met anyone like you," he continued. "I was stupid. I took you for granted." There was genuine regret in his eyes. Then he asked the question I already knew was coming.